Hey everybody, it's Book of Katherine. So if any of you guys have lost money through Wall Street over the last, let's say, 15 years, you're going to find this a very interesting story. The Trump administration's criminal division has gone after Wall Street in the last 2 years and gone after them hard. And this week we saw the results of just one of those investigations. The Justice Department went after only 3 individuals in JP Morgan Chase. Those 3 individuals, 2 of them were still working at JP Morgan Chase at the time of the investigation. Only one of them was a former employee at JP Morgan Chase. What's interesting about this investigation was that they charged these people with the time span of 2008 to 2016, which specifically means the Obama years and also means after the crash. That's very important to keep in mind, after the crash. In the end, in September 29th, which is just this last week, today is October 2nd, 2020, they made a $920 million settlement. If you know how to round up, that means it's just $80 million short of $1 billion. That's right, just 3 men charged at JP Morgan Chase were settling down for $1 billion. So when you go ahead and look through this story with JP Morgan Chase settling on September 29th, they will just tell you that, some of them say, it wasn't enough. But what they don't mention is that that was a settlement for the charges against 3 men and 3 men only. It doesn't cover any of the other criminal investigations going on Wall Street, and it doesn't cover any of the other settlements that have happened in the Trump administration. This is what goes on one business day at the Trump administration. One business day equals $1 billion settlement for just 3 men charged in a criminal injustice investigation. If you want to know what happens when they charge more people, well, then you'd have to skip on over to September 30th, the next day. That's when they did $6 billion in criminal justice reform, criminal justice investigation when they went after fraud in the opioid. That was $6 billion worth of fraud and opioid. What happened there was 20 executives were fraudulently charging the federal government, saying that there were patients that didn't exist or patients that did exist that were getting medicine prescriptions filled that didn't actually get filled or weren't actually being prescribed opioids. So there are fraudulent claims being filed with the federal government or with other insurance companies so that these claims would go through. Fraudulent claims are huge in America. That's why insurance premiums are so high, is because insurance fraud is so high. And unfortunately, our federal government with Obamacare is thick in the game, in the insurance game. And so when insurance fraud is high, taxpayers get ripped off big time. The good news in the front of all of that is that the person who gets the highlight for all of this, his name is Rabbit. Where is him? Brian C. Rabbit announced both of those deals. Brian C. Rabbit, acting assistant attorney general of the criminal division. Unfortunately, the Democrats will not let him actually be confirmed. But the good news about that is that when he moves on, he will be able to go ahead and work for other firms very, very quickly that will do some good work. So congratulations to Brian C. Rabbit, the acting assistant attorney general in the criminal division. And thank you to Attorney General Barr for doing such a great job in just one single week. And thank you to Donald Trump for taking the hits so that you shield the rest of these guys in the cabinet so they are able to do their job. You take the heat so all these guys can go ahead and beat the ground and do the job. Take care of all of the rest of the stuff that needs being done. And I know that we don't hear about this stuff, but if you go ahead and go to YouTube and type in the Justice Department, there's actually a YouTube channel called the Justice Department, and they do weekly updates. I found out about all this stuff from just their weekly updates. They do weekly the State Department does it too. Every Department of Education, they do weekly updates and they do slides. So you can do your own slide presentation. You can do your own school presentation, you can just copy slides from each one of these weekly presentations into your own newsletter slides. You can do all of this for your own. The only thing is that left-wingers are doing all the media, and so they always put the best stuff at the end and front load it with the worst, like the most smallest things accomplished, and they end it with the biggest things accomplished, unfortunately. Sometimes the biggest things are in the middle. So you usually have to search the thing, but it'll be a like 2 minute and 40-second presentation, and you'll see amazing things such as this week. So congratulations to the Department of Justice. You are doing an amazing job. And this week was one of, well, we don't know. This has just begun. So maybe it wasn't one of your finest, but I got to say, in 1 year, you got JP Morgan Chase to make a $1 billion settlement for just 3 traders for doing, what was it, in minerals? That's in minerals. That's BASF. And what they did was they basically they said that they were going to trade something. Like they put in fake trades and then pull them out just to make the market think that the market was going to trade a certain way. So everyone got in on the trades. So they faked trade trends in order to get the market, and then they bet against it. You're not supposed to do that. That's illegal. And you guys know that that became the norm for the last 30 years. So you can imagine what's about to happen. You can just imagine how much money the federal government's about to take in, start paying off our debt. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.